Good evening. As always, E.F.I is hosting another India Environment Quiz. And today's India Environment Quiz is a tribute to the great freedom fighter, the great literary giant, the man who opposed caste system, the man who was all in favor of gender equality in every way, more than calling it just women's right. He pitched for gender equality and equal rights for all kinds of humans, cutting across caste, creed, language, religion, gender, and more. A brave man who didn't stop until his last breath. So here is E.F.I's tribute for the Mahakavi Subramanya Barathi. And it is interesting how E.F.I has the golden opportunity to work in places associated with the Mahakavi, whether it's Varanasi or Surat, whether it's Pondicherry or Chennai, whether it's Thoothukudi or his country, India. So today, E.F.I's quiz is going to have 15 questions, 5 Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati questions, and 10 India environment questions. We are playing this quiz almost every day in some platform or the other. We try to frequently come to here on Instagram and here on YouTube playing this quiz where we try to ask you questions. The whole idea behind EFI hosting this quiz is so that you and I together learn something. Namaste, Vanakkam, ma'am. Vanakkam to all of you. Namaste. Today is EFI's India Environment Quiz, and the quiz is a tribute to the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. If you're from rest of India, not from Tamil Nadu, and you've not heard the name of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, please do go check out, read about this great man, the great soul. I will keep giving you a lot of information, but here's the first question. It's a simple question. Where was this great soul born? Where was this great man born? Where was Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati born? Another great mind, part of my life, instructed me, don't ask difficult questions, start simple questions so people can answer. I'm not asking this simple question for that reason. I'm asking this simple question for the simple reason that we start from where he started. And that's where today's quiz is starting. And we have a connection, we have a water connection with the place where he started. Etepuram. Of course, it's Etepuram. Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati's origin, his birth, was at Etepuram. Today's Kutch area of E.F.I was fantabulous, says the teacher from E Road. Yes, Sneha, the artist, performed so beautifully. Her rendition on the Mahakavi's work, it was phenomenal. Young India bringing life to age-old gold literature of India. Thoothukudi is the connection, as Srivatsan is pointing out. Ettayapuram is part of the Thoothukudi district in Tamil Nadu, southeast. Yes, and Thoothukudi is known for its salt pans. Thoothukudi is known for many lives, ranging from the marine life to the territorial life. Thoothukudi is known for the palm trees and more. Here is the India environment question. You've answered the Bharatiyar question. Which river, which Tamil Nadu river merges with the Bay of Bengal just south of Thoothukudi? At Punnakayal, if you want, that's another clue. Which Tamil Nadu river merges with the Bay of Bengal at Thoothukudi, just south of Thoothukudi? Tharuvaikulam plantation for the Sankaraperi pond. We're asking you our India environment question, part of the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India environment quiz. And the first question we asked you was, where was the Mahakavi born? And all of you gave the answer, Ettayapuram. And then here are the answers coming in. The river that merges with the Bay of Bengal just south of Thoothukudi, and it is Thamirabarani. Thamirabarani. Yes, of course. At the Agasthyar Biosphere Reserve, a beautiful river finds her origin, and she is Tamil Nadu's only perennial river, a river that at one point in time was moving from India into Sri Lanka when it was one landmass. And the northern banks of the river still have the tigers. The southern banks of the river in Sri Lanka have only the leopard and the elephant, because the tiger didn't cross over into that part of Sri Lanka. These are the interesting facts of how a river is home to varied ecology, biodiversity. We're playing E.F.I's India Environment Quiz, a tribute to the Mahakavi, and we are playing the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India Environment Quiz. River that has the 5 types of land, all the 5 types of land as mentioned in Tamil literature, all that beautiful things that you're pointing out. We're grateful for all of you who are participating in this quiz on YouTube and here on Instagram. The goal is to somehow bring new people into this quiz. Look at this irony of the situation. E.F.I staff organizing the quiz, E.F.I staff playing the quiz. Anuradha ma'am from Bangalore, who was part of our flower quiz, is here in this quiz. A teacher from E Road, who's a well wisher, is part of this quiz. And there are others who do walk in, leave. But a humble hope is that we somehow get more new people like Ayush, like Ennavan, whatever that name is, beautiful name that you have, Durga Yalini. These are people whom we are trying to hold back for India and her environment. Today is the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India Environment Quiz. JIT College, that's brilliant. உங்க காலேஜ்ல இருந்து இன்னும் நிறைய பேரை நீங்க விளையாட வைக்கணும். உங்க காலேஜ்ல இருந்து நிறைய பேரை சுற்றுச்சூழல் பணியில நீங்க ஈடுபடுத்தணும். அதுதான் தாழ்மையான வேண்டுகோள். The second question we are asking you, the first ever Tamil language newspaper owned and operated by Indians, in which the Mahakavi worked. Name that newspaper. The first Tamil newspaper owned and operated by Indians. Before this, there were other Tamil newspapers, but Indians didn't own it. The first Tamil newspaper owned, operated by Indians, where the Mahakavi worked. We're playing the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India Environment Quiz. Sudhesamitran comes the answer from Anuradha ma'am in Bangalore, and she's joining us for our trip to, for our learning experience at Mudumalai. Unique _1_PK says Swadesamitran, thank you. Stay on till the last question. Don't go. Yeah, I know it's past some of your bedtime, but don't leave. Let's play this quiz. We're playing the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India Environment Quiz. Pradeep Anbaragan, thank you for joining. Stay on this quiz until the end. This is the India Environment Quiz as a tribute to the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. First question we asked you, where was he born? And all of you gave it as Ettayapuram. Which is the river south of Thuthukudi, where he lived most of his life? What is that river? It's Thamirabarani. Second question we've asked you, the first newspaper owned and operated by Indians, where the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati was an assistant editor, sub-editor. It is Swadesamitran. And the interesting story, Swadesamitran newspaper, the Hindu newspaper of the present day, all have a major link. Go read on it. It's a very interesting story. Yes. And the next question we are asking you, part of the India Environment Quiz. Southernmost tip of India is, let me see how you are answering this question. Southernmost tip of India is, actually started after the Hindu. Less than 10 years after they started the Hindu. I'm not exactly sure how long. Maybe 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, something it is like that. Yeah. Southernmost tip of India is. Southernmost tip of India is. Sagarika Shankar, welcome to E.F.I's India Environment Quiz. We're playing the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati India Environment Quiz. Majita Rashid, welcome to this quiz. I'm going to keep repeating this. This is the India Environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati Quiz. Today, it's a tribute to the Mahakavi. First question we asked you was Ettayapuram, where he was born. Second question we asked you, the India-owned, Indian operated newspaper Swadesamitran, where he was the sub-editor, assistant editor. The India Environment question that I asked you was about Thamirabarani. Then I asked you, southernmost part of India, the southernmost tip of India is, it is the Indira Point in the Andaman Islands. It is the Indira Point in the Andaman Islands, which is the southernmost tip of India. If I twisted that question and I asked you, southernmost tip of mainland India is, it's Cape Comorin at Kanyakumari is what a common answer would be, but it is a little away from Cape Comorin. There is another southern point near Puvar, which is the southernmost tip of mainland India. Which is southernmost tip of mainland India. We are here giving a rich tribute to the great man Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. Yes, and I really wish I was in 3rd grade where I could do a fancy dress thing with a turban, with a tilak, and with a mustache and everything, and come up, sit in front of you to do this quiz. I could only wear the E.F.I bib for today's quiz. Nicobar. Andaman Archipelago, Nicobar Island. Brilliant. Now we are going to the third question, which is on the Mahakavi himself. We know he's a man who strongly believed in gender equality. He, through his literature, expressed a lot about women's rights, right? And he innately had it. He naturally had this thought process. But meeting one female spiritual leader triggered this emotion a lot more in him, triggered this sense a lot more in him. Who is that spiritual female leader? Meeting with a spiritual female leader on his way back from Avayara, how I wish, Srivat, that would have been one hell of a combination. Avayar plus Mahakavi plus you and me as EFI, we would have taken this world by a storm. We're talking Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. Avayar was so long ago, not during the Mahakavi's time. Vajravelu, Vanakam, welcome to this quiz. We are asking you Mahakavi. Nivedita is the answer. Sarojini Naidu, good guess. Gyandeep. If you're all wondering who Vajravelu is, if he's the same gentleman who at one point worked with E.F.I, also happens to have a very strong family connection with mine. Vajravelu, welcome to this quiz. We are playing the India Environment Quiz. Srinivasan, welcome to this quiz. We are playing the India Environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati quiz. We are asking you questions on the Mahakavi. We are asking you questions on India and her environment. We've asked you questions on where he was born, which is Etepuram. We've asked you a question on the newspaper he worked at, which was Swadesamitran, the first Indian-owned, Indian-operated, the spiritual female leader who further inspired. Mahakavi had it in him already for gender equality, but the female spiritual leader who further inspired him is Sister Nivedita. And for those of you who are wondering who Sister Nivedita is, Sister Nivedita is the disciple and somebody who was heavily inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Upon returning from the Indian National Congress meet in Varanasi, where E.F.I has restored a pond called Bantri, uh, that is now, but the Mahakavi was returning from Varanasi, yes, and he met Sister Nivedita. That's where they got into a greater conversation, and great minds got together, and Mahakavi let his literature do the talking for generations, which is relevant even today. The next question we are asking you, there is a waterfall in Chhattisgarh. There is a waterfall in Chhattisgarh, which some Westerners would like to call is as the Niagara of India. But the Niagara of Canada and USA can be called as this of North America. Give me the name. Dash Falls from Chhattisgarh in India is how the Niagara in North America looks like. It's not like how our falls, no, Joke Falls. Sir, Hari Pradhan, sir, Joke Falls, Karnataka. நீங்க நல்லா திருநெல்வேலியை கொஞ்சம் மறந்து கர்நாடகாவை கொஞ்சம் மறந்து யோசிங்க. Chitrakoot says Srivatsan. Unique underscore one underscore PK says Chitrakoot. Yes, Chitrakoot waterfalls of Chhattisgarh is exactly the one that Niagara looks like. Yeah, Chitrakoot doesn't look like Niagara. Niagara looks like Chitrakoot. Yes, Chitrakoot, a beautiful waterfall. What a plunge! What a plunge! Tremendous amounts of water. But for Hari Pradhan and Arun Krishnamurti and Maharaj and others from Tirunelveli, nothing matters but for Kutralam, Agasthyar Aruvi, and more. Yeah, and no river like Tamrabarani. Yeah, and for some people, Kaveri could be the thing. For some people, it could be other things. But the waterfall that the Niagara looks like is Chitrakoot from Chhattisgarh. Yes. The next question we are asking you, Kaveri, Tamirabarani, Tenpenayar, Periyar, Palar, you name it, Tunga, Bhadra, Krishna, Godavari, Narmada, Sabarmati. Keep going. Yamuna, Chambal, Ganga, Satlaj, Ravi, Bias, Chana, Brahmaputra. Yes. Bhavani, of course. Mahanadi and Kosi, Musi, Meeti, Moyar, there. The number of rivers we can just keep talking about. All of us can sit on a nice video and keep reciting names of Indian rivers and how we all can fall in love with each of this river all over again. Manas, Bias, Yarlang Sangpo becoming Siang, becoming Brahmaputra, becoming Padma. Oh, India, what a beautiful country. How couldn't the Mahakavi fall in love with this beautiful country? Tell me. That's why we love that man, because he understood this country in every nook and corner of it many, many centuries ago, when he didn't have the sophistication that you and I have today. The next question we are asking you, part of the India Environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati quiz, is a beautiful one. I love this question. Yeah. The British were waiting to capture this great noble man. He sought asylum. Yeah. I think he did a smart thing. Some of you might have a different opinion on that he just ran away to this place. But hello, come on. He just went to another place and he still held fort. He rocked. The British were going to arrest him. He sought asylum in another place. Where? There. Anuradha ma'am's throwing the answer at us. Pondicherry, Puducherry, the land of Ai Ammayar. Yeah. The land of the Arasa Marathukulam that E.F.I restored. Yeah. And for those of you who can't be in Pondi tomorrow, I'm in Pondi tomorrow. Yeah. Tengai Tittu. Yeah. And there is Bahur Lake, Usudu Lake. Yeah. And E.F.I is going to do a lot of work related to the Bahur surplus canal with the government of Pondicherry, with the Vinayaka mission there. We're looking at how we can take up a large stream and restore it with many ponds. This is why I proudly kept saying, wherever the Mahakavi was, from Ettayapuram in Thuthukudi to Varanasi to Surat, where he went on an Indian National Congress meet, to Chennai, Triplicate, to Pondicherry, E.F.I finds it extremely a great blessing to be wherever the Mahakavi was. Today is the India Environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati quiz, and you're all giving me such hope by actively participating. The number is not going down. That makes me very, very happy. Yes. Now, here's a very interesting question. Yes. You have to think of this and answer. It's a sweet quiz that we're doing in another way, salty world. Ocean and beaches are known for salt water. There's a beach in Goa which is known for its sweet water. Name this beach. Oceans and beaches are known for salt water. A beach in Goa is known for its sweet water. Name the beach. Ocean and beaches are known for salt water. Name the beach in India with sweet water. We're playing E.F.I's India Environment Quiz. There comes the answer. We're playing the India Environment Quiz, a tribute to the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. We've asked you questions on the place of birth, which is Ettayapuram. We've asked you questions on his first newspaper job, which was owned by an Indian, operated by an Indian, Swadesamitran. We asked you his spiritual soul sister, who further inspired him to take on gender issues, Sister Nivedita. We also asked you a question on his asylum in a territory where he couldn't be arrested by the British. It's Pondicherry. And we've asked you questions related to Chitrakoot, which is North America. Niagara is trying to ape Chitrakoot. We've asked you questions on Tamarabarani. Now we've asked you a question, and you've all given me the right answer. Arambol in Goa. There's a sweet water. There's a beautiful story behind it. Check it out. And here, the last Mahakavi question is reserved for the end. Yes, I'm going to quickly ask you 4 more questions, which you all can answer. Which is known as the Lake District of India? Which is known as the Lake District of India? Srivatsan is doing a double role. He's playing the quiz on YouTube and here on Instagram. We're asking you, which is known as the Lake District of India? One side is sea, one side is a lake. Awesome example of nature. Yes, beautiful. Srinivas says Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a state. I'm asking for a district. And Rajasthan is also not referred to as the lake state of India. The state of lakes? No, maybe not. Ashwin says Nainital. Pintu says Udaipur. Udaipur is a city. It has one beautiful lake, no doubt. Chennai should technically be that, but it's not the answer. Lake District of India should definitely be Sivagangai, don't you think? Sivagangai as a district has more water bodies than Chennai or Tiruvallur or Kanchipuram. From Coimbatore and Dr. NGP College, and to Dr. NGP College, you were there with us at the Kalam Kutte in Coimbatore doing the beautiful palm seed plantation. And here is all of us applauding your efforts at the Kalam Kutte at Kadapatti, where all of you came in big numbers. Yeah, the answer is Nainital. The answer is Nainital. Here's the next quick question. Sandalwood is the state tree of? Sandalwood is the state tree of. We're playing the India environment quiz. Karnataka comes the answer. Sandalwood is the state tree of. Of course, when they sell a soap called Mysore sandal, it has to be Karnataka. No, it is Karnataka. Sandalwood is the state tree of Karnataka. For the question on Lake District, see, Nainital has beautiful lake, Uttarakhand, and nomenclature just stuck. But go check on the map, Mimisal. Check on the map for a place called Mimisal. Yes, in Tamil Nadu. Check for Sivagangai, Kanmais of Sivagangai. Check for Kanmais of Madurai, Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram, Chengalpet, Chennai. All these have a lot more water bodies. Why just Tamil Nadu? Go into Vijayawada, go into Prakasam district, go into Tumkur, go into Bengaluru rural, Ramnagara, Mandya. Yes, go across. You will find such density of water bodies across. What a phenomenal human engineering. Gujarat, the number of lakes you'll find in and around Bharuch in the Narmada Valley, the number of lakes you will find somewhere near Sanand, Anand, you'll find near Surat. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Silvassa, there are lakes almost everywhere in this country. Nainital was just the early entrant in that list and is still sticking there. Yeah. And we've asked you a question. Sandalwood is the state tree of, and you've all given the answer. Mysore sandal. So it's Karnataka. Yes. The next question I'm asking you, I'll ask you this question. Yamuna. Yamuna, yeah, this question. Yamuna actually has a tributary with a dacoit connection. Name the tributary. Yamuna has a tributary with a dacoit connection. The name Arambol sounds like Bharatiya teaching Tamil to a non-Tamil speaker. Creativity is boundless at 10:22. I really hope it's in a sober state. Congratulations. Yamuna, brilliant. Anuradha ma'am, I'm amazed. And how quick you were in answering that. Yamuna, Anuganga ma'am has joined us on the quiz in YouTube. Yamuna has a tributary with a dacoit connection. Name the tributary. Chambal. Chambal has an E.F.I connection. How narcissistic, Aaron. Why can't you do anything without E.F.I in it? See, E.F.I by itself is so narcissistic. There's an I in the end. Yeah. How can we not be narcissists? Yeah. So, and sitting on Instagram, none of you can actually talk to me about narcissism. So please. So we're talking about Chambal. Chambal's tributary is the Saraswati and the Khan. The Saraswati River for 2 kilometers in Indore has an E.F.I Ahilyavan. And we are also putting an aerator in that river. The Saraswati Khan rivers of Indore go to Ujjain, then they come to become Chambal, then they go to Yamuna, then they merge with the Ganga, then they go into Bangladesh. So if you're in Indore, when you go to E.F.I's Ahilyavan at the Lokhande Bridge, you'll find a board. Saraswati hi hai Ganga. Ma Saraswati hi hai Ma Ganga. Because Saraswati is becoming Ganga. This is not the Ganga Yamuna Saraswati. This is the Saraswati of Indore. Yeah. Abhilash and all of you, welcome to this quiz. We are playing the E.F.I India Environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati Tribute Quiz. 4 questions on the Mahakavi is done. I'm quickly asking you questions on India and her environment. Last question on the Mahakavi is there. Now, this is the largest of all living sea turtles, and you will find this big guy maybe in Andamans. Name this guy. How can there be a quiz without the superstar of the ocean getting a mention? This guy or this girl is the largest living sea turtle and found there and found only in the Andamans in India. Name the turtle. Leatherback sea turtle. And for those of you who've not had the opportunity to see the sea turtle in person, in reality, he almost looks like a Maruti 800 car. Yeah, a fully grown adult male or a female for that matter. I'm so sorry. A fully grown female mother turtle who comes to nest on the beaches. She is almost the size of a Maruti 800. Yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful animal. Yeah, the largest of the living sea turtles and found in Andamans. Leatherback is the answer that's coming through. We're playing E.F.I's India Environment Quiz. Yamuna's tributary with the dacoit connection is Chambal. The river cuts through such beautiful, gorgeous canyons in that terrain on the borders of Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, and all that. You'll see, like, especially if you're taking a train from Agra to Bhopal, You'll see the Chambal Valley. What brilliant terrain. And if you're a movie buff, go watch this movie of the late legendary star Irfan, where he would have played such a beautiful role. Pan Singh Thomar was the movie, and they would have shot parts of it in Chambal Valley, is what I think, because my first memory of Chambal Valley goes to that. Brilliant, brilliant terrain. And the Yamuna's dacoit tributary connection is the Chambal, and the E.F.I's connection to Chambal is definitely the Khan and the Saraswati River. What is E.F.I's connection to Leatherback? Oh, there's a connection that's super narcissistic. I'm not going to tell you that. One of us at E.F.I has had the blessing and the golden opportunity to, in live action, be next to a leatherback sea turtle. See, that's how narcissistic we get. The India environment, next question that we are asking you: what is the lifespan of a banyan tree? Give me a range. You don't have to give me the exact year. Lifespan of a banyan tree. I'm doing this quiz sitting in Besant Nagar in Chennai. And here at the Damodar Gardens Theosophical Society Forest in Adyar, we have a beautiful tree. A beautiful tree. 500 to 1000 years. 500 to 1000 years is the range. 80 to 100 says Hari. 250 to 300. Srivatsan says 500. The banyan tree. The banyan tree lifespan. We're asking you the banyan tree's lifespan. Irfan Khan in India Environment Quiz. Let's do it. E.F.I is going to do in January the Shah Rukh Khan, Irfan Khan India Environment Quiz at Church Street and Hebbal Social. Pragati, my co-quiz master, and I, with a broken head and a twisted ankle, will be there waiting for you. So please come. Shah Rukh Khan, Irfan Khan India Environment Quiz. Do you know the Irfan Khan Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati connection? Does anybody know it? Let's make this quiz a little bit interesting, interactive. Quickly tell me, what is the connection between Irfan Khan and Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati? There's a beautiful connection. What is the connection between Irfan Khan and Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati? It's not this quiz. It's not that we like both of them. Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati and Irfan Khan have a connection. Give me the connection. Dadi. Okay. Dadi. Irfan Khan Dadi irundha enakku therliye. Yeah, okay. Irundhare eduthiruparu. He acted his role? No. 500 years to 300 to 500 years is almost the right answer for the banyan tree. And long live banyan tree. Long live banyan tree. I'll tell you what the connection between Irfan Khan and Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. Life of Pi as a movie was shot in Pondi. Yeah, and has a Pondi connection. Bharatiyar was also in Pondi. Pondi. Bharatiyar was also in Pondi. So Irfan Khan and Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati are connected through this link of Pondicherry. Yes, artists, yes, brilliant. They are definitely artists, and the people who loved India, so no denying it. But the connection we are looking at is Pondicherry. Life of Pi for Irfan Khan took him to Pondicherry. Yes, the story. Shahji Shinde acted in Bharati, of course, yes. Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati was also there. Richard Parker. Here is the last question of today's quiz. What a wonderful participation from all of you. Huh? We've really seen good participation today. Srinivas to many, many others. You're playing with us. Lateral thinking at its best. If so, we're playing India Environment Quiz, the Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati tribute, Ettapuram, where he was born, Swadeshamitran, the first Indian-owned, Indian-operated Tamil newspaper where he was sub-editor, associate editor. He worked in that newspaper. Sister Nivedita was also an additional inspiration for him to take on many gender issues seriously through his literature. He actually sought asylum in Pondicherry, where he has a connection with Irfan Khan. So this is where he sought asylum, and in Pondi he came up with a lot of good work. The last question as a tribute to this great man is this: Arya and Karma Yogi are journals that Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati co-authored with another spiritual freedom fighter. Name that person. Arya and Karma Yogi are journals co-authored by the Mahakavi with another great spiritual freedom fighter. Who is the other person? We're truly grateful for all of you who are playing this quiz here on YouTube, here on Instagram. This is E.F.I's India Environment Quiz. Petros Agrios, Naina Dikshit, Swami Vivekananda. Timeline, please. Sister Nivedita and Mahakavi. Sister Nivedita, Swami Vivekananda's disciple. Nivi official, Vaishu Guru, you're joining us on the India environment. I've got an answer in YouTube. Karthi, you're all joining the India environment Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati quiz. It's a tribute to the Mahakavi. We've asked questions on his birthplace, which is Etepuram. We've asked questions on the newspaper, India owned, Indian operated Tamil newspaper, first newspaper. And we've asked many questions related to Subramanya Bharati, from Chitrakoot Falls to Tamirbarani to Banyan Tree to Chambal. We've gone across the country. The last question I've asked, there are two journals. Arya and Karma Yogi, journals that he co-authored with another spiritual freedom fighter of India, Aurobindo. And this happened in Pondicherry. Aurobindo, and this happened in Pondicherry. Yes, and that's why Pondicherry is beautiful. Next time when you're in Pondi, actually try to connect spiritually to that land. It is magical. It's truly magical. So is every corner of this great country, from Indira Point to Leh. Yes, from Kargil, Dras to Lakshadweep, from Arunachal to Andamans to Arakonam. Yes, from Kanyakumari to the topmost point. Is it called the Kodak Bridge in Arunachal? Kanyakumari to Kodak Bridge. India, her rivers, her snakes, her frogs, her crabs, her turtles, her fish, her lakes, her ponds, her hills, her rocks, her sand, her soil, her twigs, her leaves. Oh, what a beautiful country. India and her environment. Yes, sir, says my partner in crime. We're more than happy. We're more than happy to have hosted this quiz and tribute to the great saint, literary saint, the man who explored, experienced, thereafter evolved, lived a short time, but got done so much, continues to live through his work. That's why we draw inspiration from Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. E.F.I's today's quiz is dedicated to him for all his work, for all his sacrifice. You may agree, disagree, you may not know about him, but here is an opportunity to feel proud that we share the land that once he walked, that once he lived upon, and that inspired him to give so much. If India can inspire Aurobindo, Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, Sister Nivedita, and if India could inspire so many great souls, it can do the same to us. And that's what Environmentalist Foundation of India is trying to do. Yes? Take absolute pride in the fact that you belong to this beautiful country and her environment is your responsibility. Join us another day for another quiz. In fact, tomorrow we're doing another quiz. From Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, we're moving to Mr. Rajnikant. Yes, we're moving to Mr. Rajnikant. Tomorrow is Superstar Rajnikant India Environment Quiz. And I'm going to be honest, maybe I won't have the same passion. It's okay to be honest, yes, but I'm still going to do it because all the Rajini fans out there, if Mr. Shah Rukh Khan and Miss Deepika Padukone could dance racially for a song and make money in the name of Mr. Rajnikant, why can't E.F.I actually rope in Mr. Rajnikant's name so that we also draw some of you towards India and her environment? My own boys are excited for Mr. Rajnikant. I have a lot of respect for that great actor, for the great man, but I'm not too inclined to celluloid. If you ask me to do another India environment quiz on Bharati, maybe there'll be a lot more fire. But we will still do a Mr. Rajnikant quiz. And let's see how many of them tune in and how we are able to take the message of India and her environment through too. Very soon, it's going to be that we're going to do influencers India environment quiz. People who are just standing there in Instagram, whose videos we're all watching. Influencer India environment quiz. Maybe that day we'll get a lot more volunteers. Every effort here is to bring in awareness. Every effort here. 10 o'clock tomorrow night. 10 o'clock tomorrow night. It's a Mr. Rajnikant India environment quiz. Yes. I'm going to ask beautiful questions. Who are the two heroines of Padayappa? I'm going to ask you questions on all those lines. Join us 10 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. And with that, we close our broadcast here on YouTube. Thanks to everyone